Please confirm is my voice is clear? Done, guys. So let's start the session. Based on the request of some students and along with the not only request from students, along with that, actually I have to complete the interview preparation week. Last week is generally for us interview preparation, right? So interview preparation week means what it includes. Okay, interview preparation week. So generally interview preparation week means it includes for us. The first one is resume building. In the interview preparation week, generally we'll discuss the how to resume building. And second one is how to introduce ourselves and how we have to project ourselves as an experienced persons. And so yeah, how to introduce yourself, that is this one. And third one is when they ask you the question of what is your experience, how to answer your experience. I have told you already this one. And fourth one is how you have to project yourself as a person. That is in the introduction, how you have to specialize your skills, your certifications, and your experience. Majorly, every time these three are the major points. Okay, always we'll focus only on these three, whether it is in the resume or in the interview or in the introduction, everywhere it is the same, right? Now, as per the interview preparation week, already we have completed our resume building and almost two classes we have completed, and earlier also one class we have completed. Now, balance was left is discussion of interview questions. If I complete this one, I need to have separately the interview preparation week separately in the last. So, balance interview questions discussion is there. So, if I complete this one today, there will be no more pending of from my end the interview preparation. Whatever I have told you in the last week will be the interview preparation. So that will be completed. So that is the reason just I'm completing the today's interview preparation discussion. And once it is completed, guys, here don't worry. As agentic AI classes are getting extended day by day or something due to some reason, don't worry about that one. Tomorrow we are going to have the agentic AI, and in the agentic AI, as per our syllabus, it is included only N8N, MCP, and lang chain. Sorry, lang graph. So these are the things which are included as per the syllabus. But I'm going to add you for you additional things also like Cloudy, Microsoft AutoGen. Tomorrow itself we are going to discuss. So I'm going to add for you more things only for your agentic AI. Okay, 100% you are going to learn the more things than the syllabus. So don't worry about the agentic AI. Just my classes are getting extended. I also understand that when very clearly, but syllabus point of view, interview point of view, if tomorrow if you are getting the interview call, out of interview call, my target is out of 100% of the interview questions, 90% of the interview questions you should be able to answer easily. 90% of the questions should be discussed in the class only. That is going to be my target. So in today's class, I'm going to complete the interview preparation. I mean, interview questions discussion. I'm going to write all the interview questions from different sectors. Almost I'm going to write in the today's class 50 plus interview questions. Everyone make a note of all these questions and which are the questions are there. I'm going to discuss that one also with 1 or 2 minutes. Like for every question, I'll give that time for 1-2 minutes time. Like that, maximum number of questions we'll try to integrate today. Okay. This is the today's class agenda, guys. So because with this, my interview preparation week also will be completed. Otherwise, sir, you have not discussed the interview questions, sir. Again, I will get the multiple things like this. So that is the reason I want to complete this one. Okay. Done. Just a minute. Yeah, guys. So let's discuss some interview questions. Yeah, Vamsi Krishna. I'm going to add the Crew AI also. I'll add one Crew AI framework also, surely. Right? Done. Okay. So apart from agentic AI, till now, whatever we have discussed, let us complete from all the different cases, all the interview questions, starting from the data cleaning and data transformation. Some questions will be from data cleaning and data transformation. And the second, you'll have the interview questions. After this, you'll have the interview questions from machine learning. And you will have the interview questions from AI. And you'll have the interview questions from Gen AI. And you'll have the interview questions from agentic AI. So these are the areas which they'll focus for the interview. Okay, overall interview questions will be from these areas. That is from data cleaning and data transformation, machine learning, AI and Gen AI and agentic AI. Here, all these interview questions will be purely theoretical than rather than code. In the entire interview process, recently, whoever has attended the interview, like one of the students from our class, Vamsi Krishna, whoever has attended, mostly the interview questions will be from theoretical only. So here the interview questions. What are the interview questions are there? We are going to discuss all the most important interview questions. Of course, multiple interview questions we have discussed in our regular class. Here, generally, I'm going to write the most important interview questions. Now, my interview questions, what are is there? Always remember, first interview question will be the easiest interview question, which we call it as introduction, which we also know answer also should be fixed. When question is fixed, answer should be fixed. Introduction of yourself. And second question should be, obviously the second one would be, what is your experience? And you're saying indirectly the answer is called as projects. So obviously they'll ask what projects. First question is going to be introduced. Second question will be from experience. Obviously the second question is experience question only for everyone. And for you, the experience, you are going to say the answer as projects, as how many number of projects you have done. That is the answer you are going to give. And after giving the answer as projects, okay, now they'll ask you the next question, what type of projects you have done? You are going to say the different types of projects. You don't need to tell the exact steps inside the project, types of projects. So this is the one project, this is one project. Like this, you are going to tell the project titles, different project titles. What are the project titles you have done? Your answer should be only the project title. Don't explain them. Just project titles. Okay. And next, if they ask you the question, explain any one project. Explain this project, they'll ask. The next question would be explain this project. And after that, obviously, they'll ask from their different questions. The first 4 questions would be almost same in the sequential order. Most probably the same thing will be there. Okay. So explain the project only. Then only you have to tell the description of the project. Your answer should be the description. What are the description you are going to give for that project title? That one should be the here. Right? So introduction, followed by they'll ask the experience. Then they'll ask what type of projects you have done and explain any one of the project, and they will choose which are the project they are choosing. That is the project which you are going to work in the future. For example, they have asked you the question, explain the chatbot means there is a high probability you are going to work on the chatbot in the company. That is the reason they have selected you for your resume. In your entire resume, there will be some few words or one project or 2 projects which will attract them to call you. Entire resume will never get attracted to anyone. In that 1 or 2 topics, for example, they are going to work on the LangChain. You already know a LangChain, and you will get automatically the call. If they are going to work on the AWS and you know the AWS in that, obviously you get the call. Like this, whatever they are going to work in the company, that whatever they are going to work in the future, that relevant information when it is in your resume, that will attract them to call you. And once they have got attracted to call you, and they'll majorly focus on that area only majorly. And here itself, when they have understood that if this is not your project, it is a copy project, or if they feel, for example, I'll ask the student, explain that particular project. What he will say is, Sir, except this project remaining I have done, only this project was copied by one of my friend has done, I have taken from him, or my trainer has explained something, he'll open up. Whenever he open up for one of the project also, I will get a bad impression on that person. Because once the person has started lies means, it will not stop with the one. That is human tendency. What other scenario it is? So once the person starts the lying means, in that particular related information, 100% one after one after one after one after, automatically to cover that one, he will lie again. Again to cover that one, he will lie again. Like that, multiple lies will start. Everyone knows this one. Whoever knows about the human psychology or something general, everyone says this one. Particularly, the people who are going to do the interview for you, they are called as experienced people. Obviously, they know. Right? Right? So now, so this is the introduction to yourself and what type of experience you are having. These are the initial questions. Now coming to the subject related questions. Starting from the data cleaning. What are the various data cleaning steps? What are the different types of data cleaning steps? Various data cleaning steps. And explain how you are going to solve them. Okay, first question is, what are the different data cleaning steps are there? For individually, for structured data, separately. The question for structured data, same question. What are the different data cleaning steps involved? For image data, what are the different data cleaning steps are involved? Okay, for or text data. For different types of data, what are the different types of data cleaning steps are involved? And similarly, okay, similarly, from three of them, again, they are going to ask you the next one. That is, what are the different data transformation steps? Different data transformation or data wrangling. What are the different data wrangling techniques? Right? Similarly, the same thing for image data and for text data. Right, guys? Now, so here, yes. Guys, if wrong, yes. Okay. Now, coming to the next one. So data cleaning, what are the different data cleaning steps? And what are this one? And data transformation steps. Okay. And data within the data transformation and data cleaning, what are the techniques are there? Structured data, image data, and text data. For all these things, what are the different techniques are there? Now, within the data cleaning, we are going to say that obviously removing the duplicates, missing values, outliers. So obviously they'll ask multiple questions. How you are going to treat the missing values? When they'll ask structured data means if your work is going to be on the ML, if your future work is on ML only, they'll ask the questions from this one. Otherwise, they'll not ask the questions from this one. If you are going to work in the ML projects only, they are going to ask this question. Structured data is majorly working with the ML. How to treat the missing values? How to treat? Okay, how to treat the missing values? Connection question. How to treat missing values? How to treat the outliers? Treat outliers. And how to treat with the what is the balance? We are having the wrong data. How to treat with the wrong data? Like this, they are going to ask the connection questions. Okay, these are the various connection questions. And what are the various data cleaning steps within the data cleaning of image data? How we are going to do the data cleaning As we know, data cleaning in the images will be done. We are going to remove the low quality images. What are the low quality images are there? Just we are going to try to remove the images. That is called as data cleaning in the image data. And already you know what is data cleaning in the text data. The same thing we are going to explain. Coming to this data transformation, they are going to ask what are the different types of transformation techniques. And you are going to say that data transformation or data wrangling. They are going to use the word called as data wrangling techniques. What are the different data wrangling techniques? First, structured data. And you are going to give the output as encoding. What are the encoding is there? Encoding. And next one is scaling. What are the scaling is a scaling. Now they'll ask what is the difference between the types of scaling. Difference between the scaling, difference between the types of encoding and difference between them. Types of scaling and difference between them. Next, encoding. That is nothing but in the same way. They'll ask what are the different types of encoding and what is the difference between them. Remember, whenever they are asking structured data related information, it is ML based. Whenever they are asking the questions from the images and text, it is AI based. What are the data transformation techniques? What are the different data transformation techniques? Miss, the data transformation techniques we are going to use for the images. That is nothing but what we are going to use. That is scaling. Max 1 by 255 we are going to do. That is pixel intensity we are going to drop by 1 by 255. And we are going to apply the resizing of the images. In the computer vision, we are going to do the resize. Even in the CNN also, we are going to do the resize. So resizing, scaling. These are the two things which we are going to do in the images. Whereas for the text data, we are going to do the vectorization. So these are the various questions from the data cleaning and data transformation related. Okay. So from overall structured data and also for unstructured data. These are the various questions from this area. Now coming to the next from the ML. Okay. Now let us take the questions from the ML. Most commonly repeated questions from ML point of view. I assume that everyone are making a note of this, and please don't ask me to share the notepad. I request everyone to make a note of this one very clearly. Right? Now, next, coming to this from ML. First question they are going to ask, most important question is called as bias variance trade-off. The most important interview question is bias variance trade-off or difference between underfitting and overfitting. Okay, difference between underfitting and overfitting. And what are the various options? Options to reduce overfitting problem. What are the various ways to reduce the overfitting problem? What is cross-validation and its importance? Next, evaluation metrics of regression. Next, what are the different evaluation metrics for classification project? Next, how to select evaluation metric for a given project. how to select the evaluation metric for given project. Okay. Next, they'll ask how to identify the best model for given project. Next, what are the steps involved in any ML project? Right? What are the steps involved in the ML project? And majorly, they are going to focus on the bias variance trade-off. That is the most and foremost important. And what are the options to reduce the overfitting problem? And also options or various ways. What are the various ways to reduce underfitting problem? Okay. What are the various ways for reducing overfitting and underfitting? Steps involved in the ML project. Right? Now, difference between classification versus clustering. Okay. What is regression and importance of it? This is one of the most important question. Okay. And importance of it and how it reduces the overfitting problem. How it reduces overfitting problem. Right? Next, difference between linear versus non-linear regression versus lasso regression versus ridge versus elastic net. What is the difference between them? In which case we have to use, or whether R square is better or RMSE is better, whether R square or RMSE should be selected and why? Right? Yeah. In the class, we have discussed the answers multiple times. Right, guys? In the class, I have discussed the answers for multiple times. If you have any particular question, one or two questions, miss, I can tell you. For every question, I cannot tell you. Just you can ask me for one or two questions. If anyone has any question, How many of you don't know these answers? Raise your hand, please. Or type in the chat box. How many of you don't know the answers? How many of you don't know the answers? Just type. Okay, done. Apart one student, everyone knows, right? Okay, that one student, please prepare. You go through the classes once again. There you prepare once again, everything. Okay, you are not genuinely. You are saying. I'm also saying very genuinely that you are not preparing everything. You are just attending the classes. I am also saying very genuinely. Okay, so please attend the classes. Just not only attending the classes and everything. All right. Next question. So whether ASQUARE or RMSC should be selected and what is the reason of selecting that? Next, what is difference between difference between uh, random for decision tree versus random forest? Okay, these are all the questions of ML project, whatever we are discussing from ML, who are attending the ML classes every day. Okay, and who are revising, sorry, not attending, who are practicing every ML class, for them answers everyone knows. Who are not practicing, just each class they are attending, miss, you don't know the answers, please go through the classes. Every point we have discussed in the class. If you are having any particular one or two questions, miss, ask me, I'll explain that. Every one of you. Right? Next, difference between the decision tree versus random forest. Next, what is the difference between bagging and boosting? It was not completed. So next, this Saturday, this question will be completed. What is the difference between bagging versus boosting? Okay. Not completed yet. We'll complete this Saturday. Next, what is model optimization and how we are going to do that? Optimization means which is called as hyperparameter tuning. Means we are going to identify the different values. From the given different values, we are going to identify the best solution. So what is model optimization? Okay, or they'll ask in the second way, what is hyperparameter tuning? Both are same. Model optimization or tuning, trying with the different values. That is also called as optimization. And what is the importance of it? Okay. And next, what is the difference between the ADA boost versus gradient difference between ADA boost versus gradient boost versus XZ boost? Differences between the different types of boosting techniques. Of course, it is not completed. We are going to complete this Saturday. Okay. Next, Okay. Next one is how to select. How to select or what is between difference between precision, precision and recall. Precision and recall. Now, before writing further interview questions, suddenly I got one question in my mind. In this class, how many students? How many students till now? Till now attended the interviews? Attended at least one interview. Attended the interviews, one or multiple from AI role. From AI related means after our course was started, how many students till now has attended the interviews? Could you raise your hand, please? Whoever has attended at least one interview. Everyone, could you please raise your hand, please? Samson says that I have attended one interview. Okay, one more. One student. Okay, still. How many students has attended the interviews? Now my question is, you don't tell me now the number of questions what are discussed. I mean, what are the questions they asked in the interview? Once I have written all the questions, you have to tell me in your real interview how many questions are covered here. Okay, I have seen only one Samson. Other than Samson, anyone else attended interview? Jahnavi, you also have written it, right? Okay, still two students has attended. Still, okay. At the end, once I rate all the questions, at the end I'll ask how many questions in this they have repeated in your real interview. Please tell me from overall. For example, here I have written the some questions, right? 6 questions here, and I'm writing 18 questions from ML till now. Of course, ML I will continue. And overall, all these questions will come to 60 to 70. Assume. In these 70 questions, how many questions they asked in the real interview? You have to tell me at the end. Okay? They may ask what is model optimization, or they may ask the question of how to optimize the model. Both are same. How to optimize the model or what is meant by model optimization. Both are same. Right? And they are going to ask the difference between the precision versus recall. And what is the difference between F1 score versus accuracy? Right? Next, 20. Yeah, next one is difference between K means clustering, K means clustering versus KNN classification. K means clustering versus KNN classification. This is also not completed. We have to discuss. So please don't ask the question answer. This was not completed. We will discuss. Next, what is recommendation engine? What is recommendation engine? And what are the types of recommendation engines? And this is also not completed. We are going to complete. Next, what is association rules? Where it will be used and where it will be used. Next, we are going to discuss the next one, that is related to time series. So what is the difference between regression project and forecasting project? That is time series forecasting project. What is the difference between this? Next, difference between ARIMA model, AR, difference between AR versus MA versus ARIMA models. And why we can't apply regression algorithms over time series data? These are the most commonly asked interview questions within the ML. And we are going to have the 2 Saturdays in the ML. Still 2 more Saturdays we are having. In 1 Saturday, we are going to cover the coding part of decision tree and random forest, followed by boosting techniques. What are the boosting techniques are there? Boosting theory, and along with the coding and coding of this one, coding of boosting. These 2 will be completed in 1 session along with the time series. Time series. So where the coding part of random forest and decision tree will take for 30 minutes. And this theory and this one will take for 1.5 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes. And along with this 1.5 hours, 1 hour 30 minutes. And time series I'm going to take for both theory and coding. The theory and coding, both of them. We are going to cover in the 1.5 hour. That is total 3 hours. We are going to cover this Saturday. By this Saturday, the classification projects will be completed along with the time series project also will be completed. In 1 more Saturday, next Saturday. by this Saturday, the last one, where we are going to discuss clustering, theory and practical. This is going to be for 1.5 hours. The theory plus practical will be 1.5 hours. And we are going to discuss, the next one is called as recommendation engines. And this recommendation engines will take around 45 minutes. And from there, we are going to complete the association rules. And association rules will take for us additional 45 minutes. And these three will be completed in 1 3-hour session. So in next 2 sessions, we are going to cover all the things. And now what are the balance interview questions? Here I have written the not completed, all these not completed are there, right? By next 2 weeks, all these interview questions will be completed for you. Okay. That is the interview questions from the ML. These are the commonly repeated. Of course, for every algorithm detailedly, we have discussed multiple interview questions. This is the interview question. This is the interview question. I have discussed multiple interview questions in the class. Apart from that, I'm saying that additional interview questions, the most commonly repeated. If you type in the Google ML interview questions, in multiple websites, these questions only will be repeated multiple times. Okay. Now, so here, these are the different interview questions from ML, and which we are going to cover in the next 2 Saturdays. Next, come to the AI, that is artificial intelligence. Okay, artificial intelligence. The next one is. So from artificial intelligence, that is includes the neural deep learning. It's a combination of deep learning. Deep learning means ANN, CNN, RNN, LSTM. These are all comes under DL. Followed by, we are having the computer vision, and followed by NLP. So these are all the part of DL. So from DL, from here to here, including LSTM, and apart from the DL, that is computer vision and NLP. These are all the part of AI from questions, AI questions related. So if they are stressing more number of questions, okay, if they are, yeah. Leela Krishna, if it is not completed, automatically we'll extend. We will not compress. If it is not completed, we'll extend. 100% we'll extend. Okay. If it is completed, okay. If it is not completed due to some reasons, 100% we'll extend and we'll have the clearly step-by-step everything. Right? So these are the 25 interview questions most commonly asked from the machine learning. Now, everyone making a note of all the questions, right? My request for you is in the next 2 days, I want for all these questions, question and answer. Okay. I want every question along with the answer. In take one Word document, and inside the Word document, write every question and answer and share it to me for everything. And keep one set with you and share one set to me. And this interview questions, if you properly prepare also, easily you can crack the interview. Is the point is clear? And that is the reason I ask the students who are attending the interview, please tell me what are the how much percentage of interview questions are covered in the class. Okay. That is the reason I'll ask every time. Every student I'll ask the same question. how much percentage of interview questions are completed in the class. If it is 80 to 90 means 100% we satisfied. 100 out of 100 no one will satisfy, because company to company the requirement will be different. 100 out of 100 should be satisfied means you should be a fresher and you should be in the campus placement, where for everything it is common. For all the categories of students it is common, then only it is going to be same. Then 100 out of 100% of interview questions we can satisfy. Everyone is clear? Can I move on to the AI related questions? If anyone has any questions, please ask. What are the questions you are having? In this last, except last 5 questions, if you are having any of the questions from all these things, please ask so that I'll explain the answer. If anyone has any question. No questions, right? Now I'm going to write the next questions from AI. Before writing the AI related interview questions, just to give me 1 minute of time, I'll be back and I will write the interview questions for the AI also. Just to give me 2 minutes. Okay, guys. So let's start the interview questions from the AI. So based on the AI interview questions, what are the AI interview questions are there? The first one is, what is epochs? What is meant by epochs? And what is the use of it? How to select the number of epochs? Next, question 2. What are different activation functions? What are various activation functions? What are various activation functions? Explain them. Explain each. Right? Next. Okay. So what are the different activation functions and explain them? What is meant by perceptron versus difference between perceptron versus multi-layer perceptron model, multi-layer perceptron versus that is MLP, and ANN versus DNN, that is deep neural networks. What is the difference between the perceptron model and MLP, that is nothing but multi-layer perceptron model, ANN model, and DNN. DNN means deep neural networks. What is the difference? How you are going to optimize the models in the DL? How to optimize? Optimization techniques in deep learning. That is indirectly they are asking in the neural networks. What are the different optimization techniques involved in the neural networks? Deep learning means obviously the another word of deep learning is called as neural networks. What are the different optimization techniques are there in the deep learning? That is in the neural networks. Right? Next, apart from the optimization techniques, here how to select the activation function. Already I told you here what are the various activation function and explain each of them now. How to select. How to select them. How to select within them. Within them, how to select. Okay. Next. Okay. Next. Optimization techniques in the deep learning. Next, we are going to have from the what is convolution operation? What is the meaning of convolution operation? What is, and here it is what are. What are different optimization techniques? And what is meant by convolution operation? Or what is meant by filters? What is convolution operation and what is meant by filters? Steps involved in CNN project. What are the steps involved in the CNN project? Next, what are the various techniques, or options. One of the most important and famous interview question. This is my favorite. Okay, 100% I'll ask in the interview. What are the various other options, or what are the various options to increase the accuracy? What are the various options or techniques to improve the accuracy? To increase the accuracy or to improve the accuracy? So generally, whenever we ask the interview question, they'll say that, sir, I have recently completed this project. What is the accuracy you got? They'll say 75 or 78 or 80 or something. Immediately will ask, what are the I want more accuracy means what I have to do. So they'll tell some options. Immediately will ask, have you tried them? Okay. So like this, the interview questions would be there. First, they will ask them, what are the options? If they know the options, have you applied? Okay, what are the options to increase the accuracy, and have you applied in your project? What are the things you are saying? Have you applied in your project to get that one? To get the maximum accuracy. Have you applied in your project? This is my famous interview question. I will ask, and most of the people will ask, because everyone wants the accuracy only at the end. So what are the options are there? Have you tried all the options to improve the accuracy? For example, you are going to say 80%. That is the max. No one can improve than that. Still, there is no other option. That is the maximum which you can do. Not only you, not tell from your point of view, tell from general point of view. That is the maximum accuracy for the given data set, or we can try. If there is an option, have you tried? If options are available, why you didn't try? At the end, everyone wants the accuracy. So what are the options to increase the accuracy or to improve the accuracy? And all this at the end, have you applied in the project? So I want everything from the maximum output. Okay. So what is convolution operation and what is meant by different filters? And of course, here they may ask you what is max pooling? What is meant by max pooling? This is not that much of famous interview question, but okay, a normal interview question from CNN. Okay, what is convolution operation and what is meant by filters? Okay, within the CNN, convolution. What is the meaning of convolution? What is the meaning of convolution in CNN? Meaning of convolution in CNN. Okay, so indirectly they are asking. So they'll ask, what is meant by what is CNN? What is CNN? And what is the use of it? In the second question, they'll ask immediately. You say what is CNN means convolution neural networks, and what is the use of it means you say automatically image classification purpose we are going to use the CNN, convolution neural networks. Then immediately they'll ask what is meant by convolution. What is meant by convolution, or what is the meaning of convolution? What is meant by convolution in CNN? Okay. And you are going to say that we are going to apply the various filters and extracting the future maps by applying the filters. Immediately they'll ask what is filters? Okay. And what is max pooling? And what are the steps involved in the CNN project? Or they'll ask the question like this. Steps involved in image classification project. What are the steps involved in image classification project? Right? So like this, they are going to ask the various questions. And they may ask the question, explain the real use cases of CNN, where we are going to use the real use cases of CNN in the real time in the industry. Okay, real use cases. Explain some real use cases of CNN project. Right? So these are the various interview questions from the CNN. Now, Abhishek is saying that some parts of CNN is pending. What is that? Could you ask me, Abhishek? Can you tell me what is that? Abhishek, difference between what is the difference? Difference between difference between image classification and object detection. How you are going to identify a object in a given image or video, in the given image or video. Okay. So how to identify a object in a given image or video? Next, Abhishek, could you reply? I'm waiting for your reply. Segmentation or something which to be covered. I will go through and tell tomorrow. Okay. You can get, you can check and you can tell me tomorrow. There is nothing segmentation or something like that. Just you can check and tell me tomorrow. Okay. Done. Next, after this, how to identify an object in a given image? What is her cascade classifiers? Her cascade classifiers. And what is the advantage of it? Steps for identifying, what are the steps or pipeline? Steps involved, or simply they'll use the word called as pipeline. Wherever the steps involved, the another name of pipeline is called as steps involved. Pipeline for, what is a pipeline? For object detection. Okay, what is the pipeline for object detection? Okay, object pipeline means always only one word called as pipeline means steps involved. What is the project pipeline? Could you explain me the pipeline of this particular project? Means indirectly they are asking the steps involved in that project. Step by step process. Pipeline means is called as step by step process. Right? Now, next question. You are going to have the next question from NLP, that is text classification versus text clustering projects versus text clustering. What is the difference between text classification versus text clustering project? Difference between them. Difference. Okay. And next, steps involved. That is pipeline. What is the pipeline for text classification project? Pipeline for text classification project and pipeline for text clustering project. If it is text clustering, means they'll ask from text clustering, which is also called as topic modeling. What is topic modeling? Okay, what is topic modeling and what are the steps involved in the topic modeling? Okay, next they are going to ask this question. Right, guys? Next, again, my favorite question. How to identify which algorithms, or which techniques has to be applied has to be applied on given project. Okay, this is my, not only me, most of the people, because once you join in the company, they'll share you the job description. Project description. You have to decide which techniques has to be applied, which logics has to be applied, how we have to follow, and everything. How you are going to select? How? Next one is again most important interview question. How you will start and approach? How you will start and approach the given project? How, from where you will start and how you will approach the given project? What are the steps? How you will approach the given project? Some project was given to you. How you will start? From where you will start? How you will approach that one? What to be done? I'll share tomorrow one project description and data set. What to be done? How you are going to think? From where to start? One of the most important interview question. For every project to project, it will differ. For one project, what are the steps are there? For other project, the steps will be different. Okay. So test classification project, whatever we have done, this project is called as end-to-end project, capstone project. Okay. The name of this project is called as end-to-end. What are the regression we are doing? End-to-end. What are the image classification project we have done? End-to-end. These are all called as end-to-end projects in development phase. Not in the operation, not in the data collection. These are all called as end-to-end projects. Okay. Now, most important question again. These are the most important questions. What is the exact work of a AI and ML engineer? What is the exact work of your role? What is the exact work? What you have to do? What is the exact work? Or could you explain about this particular role? Explain about this role. Okay. So first you should know what role you are applying, what are the things you have to do, and for that one, what are the things you have to learn. First, you should know what is the work of yours. Okay, for example, house construction is there. Someone has given you the contract of electrical work. Your work is giving the wiring to the entire house or apartments or whatever it is. Sir, I know the plumbing work also. Can I do that one? Is the plumbing work is required for this particular home construction, or only electrical is sufficient? Or do we require this one also? Or sir, carpentry work also required? No, sir. For electrical, for house construction, for a complete house construction, multiple people are required. It is not one single role. Electrical is required, plumber is required, carpenter is required, and civil engineer is required, and labor also required. But what are the work was done by one person will not be done by other person. The meaning of house construction is not entire work will be done by us from the labor to end. Civil engineer will never do the labor work. Electrician will never do the plumbing work. Plumber will never do the carpentry work. Everyone knows what is their restrictions, what is their limitations. And exactly they are going to do their work. Points are clear? So like this, we are having the multiple questions from all these things. Okay. And here in the test classification project, steps involved in the test classification project I asked, and another name of test classification project is sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis or classification project, test classification project, both belongs to one. Okay. Now, next, what are the various phases of the project? What are the various phases of project? Next, difference between development, difference between development versus operations versus support. This is most important, not for interview, for you guys. Most. First, you should know what is the difference and what is the exact work of the development work, operation work, and this one. Then you will understand. Different phases will be there. Different types of works will be there. According to that, rows will be there. This is only for you, not for the real interview. Because in the real interview, everyone knows if your manager says do the development, means you have to do the development only. You will not ask that, should I do that operation also? Should I do this one also? You will not ask, he will not tell. Is the points are clear? Everyone? And these are the interview questions from AI. If you learn these most commonly interview questions, sir, only 20, 45 means literally you are giving only, if all the questions, if I involve also maximum 100 will be there. Only these questions are sufficient, means these are the most commonly repeated questions, not only questions, repeated questions. If only these questions are completed and these things, if you know, means then no need to learn the entire subject for 6 months, right? Most commonly repeated questions. Now, earlier I asked one question to some students. In that, one of the students has given the response. Samsung Jairaj attended one interview and Jahnavi has attended one more interview. Right? Samsung. From all these questions, what are the number of questions we have discussed from the AI, ML, data cleaning, data transformation, and Gen AI. Gen AI questions are discussed separately, right? One class already I have spent for Gen AI. So From all these interview questions, tell me how many interview questions they asked in the real interview for you, in your real interview in the company. Samsung Jairaj and Jahnavi. I don't want the number of questions. I want in terms of percentage. For example, they asked, assume 5 questions they asked from this out of. That is also important. Including the Gen A. Have you included the Gen A? Here I have not written the Gen A questions because that already I have completed in another class now. So that is the reason I have not written here. Including the Gen A. So apart from these questions, they ask additional questions. Of course, within see, Gen A, after agentic AI questions will be discussed. What are the additional questions they ask exclusively from ML? Additional to this, what are the additional questions they asked? Within the ML, 25 questions I have given now. In your real interview, for example, in the ML, they have asked 4 questions. Out of 4 questions, how many questions we have discussed in the ML? Similarly, from the AI, like that I'm asking. First, tell me in the ML, how many questions they ask? Within the ML, how many questions? 5 questions. All the questions we have completed. Any one question is missing. Jahnavi is saying 10 questions they ask. Okay. 10 questions. Out of 10 questions here, how many questions are there? Within your ML questions, how many questions are there here? Samson is saying that 5 questions are asked and all the 5 questions are here. Right? Every question is here within the ML. Jahnavi says total 10 questions. Jahnavi, within the 10 questions, how many questions are here? From the ML. Within the ML. Okay. Done. Done, guys? So please go through all these interview questions. That is ML questions. Okay. AI related questions and Gen AI related questions. And once we complete the agentic AI, I will complete the agentic AI questions also. After completing the agentic AI, the last class, I will discuss only the agentic AI questions. Okay. Mostly they have discussed in the class only. Whatever we have discussed in the class only, they ask, right? Samsung and Jahnavi. Right, guys? Done. Thank you. Please, other students also attend the interviews. You can start attending the interviews. After attending the interviews, you will understand the importance of this course and how much content we have learned or we have discussed. You will understand from them. Without attending the interviews, some students will always type that this was not discussed, this was not there, this is this, this is this. They will never enter the interview. They don't know what is reality. Niranjan, how many questions will be asked generally in the interview? It always it depends to the level of salary. Some people will do the interview for 20 minutes to half an hour, or some people will do for 1 hour. There is no fixed number of questions or something like that. Based on your answers, it will be decided. For example, most of the answers you are giving gunshot answers. Okay, confidently you are giving for most of the answers, miss. They'll ask very less number of questions because they'll understand that you know the subject very clearly. For few of them, you are giving the wrong answers and few of them you are giving the correct answers, miss. They'll try to check which are the other areas which you are very strong. Done, guys. So we'll continue the tomorrow's class. And now for Dilip, as you asked, wait for. As you asked earlier, sir, last week will be the interview preparation week. No, sir. Are we going to cover that this one? You asked, right? Completed. Done, guys. Now only pending is agent AI from us, and we are going to start everything from tomorrow. Done.